If you want to buy an Apple MacBook and save yourself hundreds of dollars at the same time, then buying a refurbished MacBook direct from Apple could be the way to go. And that's what I did. I bought this refurbished 15-inch MacBook Air that's in this box and saved myself a good chunk of cash at the same time. So what does a refurbished MacBook look like? I don't know. I haven't opened the box yet. We'll get to find out together. I'll also let you know why I picked this particular model, how much money I saved, and whether I recommend doing it. Welcome to my tech gear. Let's get into it. So we're just gonna get stuck straight into the box. It's gonna turn into some like ASMR video or something. Ooh, there we go. So there's the box. Right, so one thing with the refurbished models is they do package it up in a brand new box. So this is all brand spanking new from a box perspective. Turn this over. Oh, that's so satisfying. There's one thing that Apple knows what to do well. It's packaging. There we go. There we go. Ooh. There is your 15-inch MacBook Air. We'll have a good dive into that and have a look at it and just see if there's any, scuffs and scrapes. What does it look like as far as the refurb model goes? We'll just check out what else is in the box. So you've still got the official braided power cable, which color matches your MacBook. Get matching stickers, always important. And so here's the power plug. So in Australia, New Zealand, this is the plug that you get. If you're in the States or the UK, you get the plug that matches your country. I hate MacBooks, by the way, just to clarify this. I'm not an Apple fanboy in any way, shape or form. I'll get into why I picked a MacBook when I don't like MacBooks in a minute. That is nice. I'm just gonna stare at the screen. This screen is gorgeous. Looking at the actual MacBook, I mean, because this is a refurbished unit, so you should be able to see signs of use, right? If you can, you have a lot better eyes than I do, because as far as I can tell, I mean, this looks brand spanking new. There is no sign that this has ever been touched. I love that trackpad. That trackpad is massive. I mean, the keys feel good. The trackpad's just great. Nice. People always used to say that MacBooks were really expensive, and I was one of those people. However, when you look at what you get for the money, well, for what I was looking for, which is predominantly something that could do video editing as well as other things, well, the equivalent from like Razer or someone like that would be significantly more expensive than a MacBook Air. So surprisingly enough and bizarrely enough, Apple ended up being the cheap option. I do think that if you're going to just use something for browsing the internet, then yes, a MacBook is complete overkill. But if you want something that is going to do, something a little bit more than that without spending a fortune, the MacBook Air especially is an absolute steal of a bargain, and I definitely recommend checking it out. I mean, I'm not paid by Apple to say that. I mean, I bought this myself. Right, so whilst this is setting itself up, let's talk about why a refurb unit. Like, why would you go and buy one? Well, fundamentally, it is around price, because you can save yourself a good chunk of cash by buying a refurb unit. And as you've seen from the unboxing, well, you wouldn't know that you've just bought a refurbed box. Well, a refurbed Mac, not the box. But no, you wouldn't know that you've gone and bought yourself a refurbed Mac at all. There really is no downside to buying a refurbed unit. Well, there actually might be one, but I'll get to that in a minute. Because other than that, every refurb unit coming from Apple comes with a 1-year warranty like it would if you bought a brand new unit. It also comes with a 90-day phone warranty like it would with a new unit. They can be serviced at Apple stores or over mail or authorized service centers like a new MacBook. You can even purchase Apple Care if you want extended warranty like you could with, pretty much you've guessed it, a new MacBook. And all refurbished devices, as you've seen, are repackaged in brand new boxes and everything is wrapped up as though it was a brand new unit. And on top of that, you get free delivery and returns as well. So how much can you save by buying a refurbed unit? Well, if you take the 512 base model of the 15-inch MacBook Air that's here, that brand new is $1,499 US. The refurb unit is $1,269. The one that I've got here is actually the 16 gig and 1 terabyte storage model. That one is $1,899 US, brand new. The refurb version of this is $1,609 US. So across the board, you will save yourself roughly 15% across the board of every MacBook if you buy a refurbed model. So why did I get this particular model? Well, I got a MacBook Air, and specifically the 15-inch one here, because the performance compared to a MacBook Pro, yes, it's not as good, but it's not massively miles away, and it does save yourself a fair bit of cash. I did, however, wanted a MacBook that I could predominantly do for mainly browsing and stuff like that, but could also use it for ad hoc video editing for videos like this. So I boosted up the memory to 16 gig, I upped the storage to 1 terabyte, and I got the 15-inch because I wanted the extra real estate for video editing. Now, there is a downside to getting a refurbished MacBook or refurbished anything from Apple. That is predominantly around availability, because you can't always get the model that you want when you want it, because it depends when those refurb models are made available. And the newer the MacBook or whatever you're trying to buy, well, the longer it takes for those models to appear in the refurbished store. I will say that the more vanilla and the more base model that you can select your model to be, the likelihood is that it's going to be in the refurbished store faster. Because I wanted the extra memory and the extra storage, I did have to sort of keep checking back for a couple of weeks before the model that I wanted appeared in the refurbished store. Still, once it was on the store, I ordered it and it was at my house within days. And so to save yourself a few $100s, you might have to wait a bit until the model you want is available. So would I recommend getting a refurbished 15-inch MacBook Air, or any refurbished model for that matter? I do need to play with this for a fair bit longer to get a really good in-depth impression about how it's going to be going as my daily driver as the weeks and the months go on, but my initial impressions are pretty good. I mean, I've essentially got the spec that I wanted in the 15-inch MacBook Air, and I've saved myself hundreds of dollars at the same time. Then there is real no downside to getting a refurb model, other than possibly availability. I will put a link to the Apple Refurb store in the description down below, so you can go check it out for yourself. If you do get one, let me know in the comments down below what you thought about it when it turns up. If you want to check out some accessories to go along with a MacBook, then be sure to check out the link up here. Thanks for watching, and as always, I'll see you in the next one.